Tamales are a delicious and versatile dish that can be enjoyed as a main course or a side dish. They are often made in large batches and can be time-consuming to prepare, so freezing them is a great way to have them on hand for future meals. Freezing tamales properly can help to maintain their texture, taste and quality. In this video, we will go over the steps and techniques you'll need to know to successfully freeze your tamales, including the best way to package them. I am Sabrina, a food enthusiast from Bloggingoodfood. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon, so you don't miss any of my future videos. Method 1, Freezing cooked tamales. Step 1, allow it to cool down to room temperature. Make sure to allow the tamales to cool down completely before freezing them by placing them on a cooling shelf. In an hour, the tamales should have cooled down. It is advised that you do not let them cool for a lengthy amount of time after cooking. Bacterial containment might result as a result of this action. Step 2, Container storage. Once all of the tamales have cooled, they are ready to be placed in storage. You may either use a sealed jar or freezer bags to store your tamales once they're made. Both of these methods are useful in protecting the tamales fresh in the freezer. Step 3, label the container with marker. Once the tamales have been put into the container, make sure they are properly sealed. Check for leaks in the zipper or the airtight container's lid to ensure that nothing is leaking. Then, using a permanent marker, mark the bag or jar with the date it will be frozen. Step 4, store in the freezer. If you want to store items in freezer bags, ensure there are enough spaces in the freezer for the bag to rest flat. These steps will allow for even freezing throughout the tamales, preventing them from splitting into pieces. If you have a small amount of freezer space, you may stack the tamales on top of one another. Before you begin, ensure the tamales are frozen before proceeding. Method 2, freezing the uncooked tamales. Step 1, wrap the filling. Before steaming the tamales, make them in the usual manner for tamales. Then, carefully wrap them in a banana leaf or a husk to keep them warm. If you like, you may freeze the filling and masa in separate containers. This method may be more difficult and take up more freezer space. Step 2, storing the tamales. Whatever you do, be sure to keep the uncooked tamales in an acceptable container. It doesn't matter if you wrap them in a husk or not. The best container for this is an airtight, freezer-safe jar. These measures are taken to avoid ice crystals and moisture from accumulating in the jar. It is preferable to maintain the tamales tightly packed to avoid the masa from crumbling. This will also aid in the preservation of the container's airtightness. Step 3, make a label for the container. Make sure you identify the box with the tamale fillings as well as the day you put them in the refrigerator.